It is the 4th of February 1943. In the middle of the winter, the Soviet forces have expanded the salient around Vitebsk, but have been stopped again at the gates of Minsk, and we haven't managed to break through German defenses in the salient around Mogilev, which we're still trying to close. One problem that the Soviet army on the ground has encountered is that we apparently need specialized equipment, because attacking with tanks into swamps or urban areas to, well, actually nobody's great surprise, isn't working that well, even if we are having heavy air support. The German troops dug in Minsk, well supplied through the railway network, and taking cover in destroyed buildings or underground cellars, are almost impervious to the airstrikes, and the tanks don't fare too well in the limited maneuverability space of urban warfare. So, a couple of changes that we need to do. First of all, I have forgotten to put a national focus on. So, if anybody be shouting at me in the comments, that would be the thing. There are a couple of things we can do, actually. I had a brief look of what's still around. We can get ourselves more spies, which is a good thing. There's this whole tree here that I sort of neglected. We can still do something in East Asia, although I'm not too keen on that right now. I do want to get Germany out of the way. We can get Tankograd going, which is going to give us a bunch of military factories. I think about 10 or so. So 10 military factories is probably not a bad thing to have. We can still reinforce the Air Force. And we can do this one, I forgot this as well, which gives us decisions to build academies of sciences, which will improve research bonuses for the Academy of Sciences spirit. So let's have a quick look at that one. Please do keep in mind that this is my first time to actually even play this far, so if I've missed something obvious... okay, so currently it's giving 1% research speed. So if we do this one, we can use political power, I assume, to get more research speed. Maybe we'll do that. And we've also still got this one around, which gives us a bunch of railways that might be useful. It's a 70-day focus, however, and I don't really care about the designer. So we also still have army improvements. We can do the adaptable army, which I think, given that it's winter, it's probably also not a terrible idea, although by the time we're done, it's no longer winter. So we probably need to do that before the next winter comes. We can do this, which gives us an additional operative, and this gives us a bunch of sabotage capabilities. Down here, we've still got the a couple of things that depend on military reorganization. The problem is military reorganization in the middle of an offensive is probably not the best thing. It only gives us design cost, which is nice, but the penalties are relatively hefty. For how long is that running? Okay, so for the duration of the focus, it's relatively hefty. This is something we could do. Gives us some army experience once it's completed, so it's not completely terrible. And it gives it opens up the exports and camouflage, which we don't really need because we are on the offensive and the Luftwaffe is no more. But it also gives us the potential to go down these paths here to get some more army bonuses. So plenty of things we can do. Not sure. There's also moving the industry to the Urals, which is no longer needed. But 10 military factories sounds pretty good. So and it also unlocks this, which probably allows us to merge designers, which might be quite nice as well. So why don't we go for that? Let's get that going. So that's happening. Tankograd is coming up. We can get ourselves a ship designer. Don't really think I need one right now, but we currently have Konev in the military high command, and we don't really need it because the enemy air support isn't really happening. So I am thinking of having a quick look of what we got here, and I don't think there's anybody here who I want. However, I believe one of my generals, Vatutin here, can have an officer corps role as an infantry specialist. So that's probably not terrible. So we'll give him that. And then he can replace Konev in that role. And it gives us some division attack and defense. So that's pretty neat. In terms of military of chief of army, I don't have any of my field marshals ready to, ready to take that role. So not an awful lot we can do here. The next thing we need to do. So we are short on supply, and the problem is here that we haven't taken Minsk. Now we might be able to do another push and break through. So the next plan is probably going to be to try and encircle Minsk, cut it off from supply, and then take it. And we can still expand the lines here a little bit more. The problem is we're running very low on supply until we actually take Minsk. And the Vitebsk hub is also massively overloaded. So we could either build another supply up here, which is going to take a while, or we could try to build some transport planes, which is also going to take a while. But we could technically use those for some supply drops on the front lines. The problem is obviously can we do anything? No, we can only rename them, nothing else. The problem is it takes a while. This costs 20 IC to produce, so it takes a while to get the production efficiency up and all kinds of things. And we currently don't have any free military factories to begin with. So I am thinking, given that we are running very low on supply here, and that we've failed to both take the other option. Sorry, yes, the other option. This supply hub here in Bobryansk. We have taken the town of Bobryansk. Bobryansk. I'm probably mispronouncing that horribly. Bobryansk, probably. The problem is we're not getting through. So we are going to need the naval divisions to make something happen here. And these are currently in training, but they are not yet ready to actually assault across the river. We've got 6 divisions training up right now, but that might still take a while. So in the meantime, we may as well just construct a supply hub and see how long that's taking. Just right in the middle here between the two. We could do that. That would give us additional supply here, or we could construct one. Yeah, here doesn't make an awful lot of sense because it's right next to Minsk. So we could build a supply hub here and bring some additional supply down and also alleviate the stress on this hub here. Alternatively, we could also, and that is another possibility that we have if we look at the terrain. A lot of this is open terrain here, so we could do a push from the south and liberate the Sitomir area here, and just generally use the tanks on this front to liberate some, and maybe we'll try to link up through the swamps from the south and see if we can we can take the airport here and close this pocket from the south. So these are the sort of the two options, and I think given that the tanks are no real good in the swamp or in Minsk, I'm going to begin with relocating the first motorized to the southern front. And we'll see how that looks like supply-wise. So if we give them a front line, this is, yeah, we can basically do a large, not there. We can do a concentrated tank push all the way up to Kiev. I think this is all open terrain. So let's assign the complete 18 divisions here, and we'll give the first motorized an offensive line to effectively push up to this area, more or less. So that gives us a defensible, that extends our defensible lines in the south. We start pushing into Poland, and we might be able to link up with the 9th Army in the north. And I think we'll send the second motorized down as well, and just reinforce the line here. And then they can get an offensive line as well for the northern push. And if we're lucky, we can link up and encircle most of Army Group Center here and deal a big blow to the Germans. How does that look like supply-wise? As usual, supply is the problem. So Sitomir here is the next supply hub, so that is the primary objective of this push. These supply lines here are reasonably well equipped, so hopefully they have enough to support the tank push, and we can use the infantry here as well to break through these under-strength German divisions, although they are relatively well entrenched. It's winter. Yes, as you know, things tend not to go that well, but that also alleviates the stress a little bit from the... have I actually assigned second motorized? I believe I have, yes. That alleviates some of the stress on the supply lines here in the north, so we'll be better off in Minsk. So, the next thing, dealing with cities. Dealing with cities is a problem. So, we do have, if we're looking at our stockpile, a fair amount of the A20 prototypes laying around. Where are they? Medium tanks here. So if we look at that, we've got about 1,400 A20 prototypes laying around that are currently not in use. What we can do is we can design ourselves a variant of the A20 prototype and give this variant a flamethrower. And change the role to a flame support tank, which means it's significantly going to reduce the amount of armor, but it's relatively cheap to convert the existing A20s into these. The other thing we could do, that reduces the armor to 18. So let's check, because the other ones we've got around is BT7s. So if we did the same thing on the BT7s, and then it'll be less armor, but it'll be cheaper to do. So I think, given that we've the A20s is a relatively decent thing, so we'll create a flamethrower, version, and that is not a T32A, that is an A20 Model F, and that will be a flame support tank. All right, save that. And then we can get a production line going with these, but what we can do is put some of our newly created. We're still even producing the BT7As. So here we can. Why is there no equipment that we can convert? We should totally be able to convert that, right? Why can't we convert an A20 into an A20F? That is interesting. So this should work, in my opinion. Why does it not? We can even convert American planes into, or Liberian planes, or whatever these are. But apparently we can't convert into the A20F. That is weird. Somebody explain me what I'm doing wrong here, but I would have thought that I could convert this from stockpile. Well, in that case, we're not doing it. Let's try the same thing with the BT7As. I should be able to, right? So that would be the conversion cost from the BT7 to this design. Okay, so do I have to build this off the base design and not of a... Maybe that's why. So let's show outdated equipment. But the A20 was a base design, right? So... Okay, this is utterly confusing. Flamethrowers. So flamethrower here, if I designate that as a flame support company. Okay, of the original design to this design. Okay, so I have to... so let's try this with the BT7, because the BT7 is a variant of the BT7... BT7A is a variant of the BT7 light tank. So if we take the BT7 light tank, give it a flamethrower, and it says original design to this design. So if we, sorry, we need to switch that to support company. Okay, so this would be the BT7F variant. Let's try this, and it says this should work. There. So if I'm going to produce now a BT7, where is it? Okay, I'll stop outdated things here. BT7F. All right, where is it? Okay, this is weird, and somebody explained this to me, but this thing's cheap, and I can just make a couple of them. So I'm just going to give it I'm just going to give it... I'm just going to stop the production of the BT7A, because I really don't need those anymore, and we'll start launching production of the BT7Fs, for which for some odd reason I can't convert out of the existing stockpile. Anyway, the whole idea behind this is that I can add these to specialized assault divisions for urban attack, because I think the flame support divisions, if we have a quick look at that, so if, let's say for example, if we were taking the guards divisions and we would add a light flame tank company, so that would give us plus 20% urban attack, and they don't really. I don't think they get any maluses in urban to begin with. For river, no. So that would work relatively well. Whereas if we were to stick it on, say, an armored division, which gets like a 30% attack and defense reduction in urban areas, is really not that useful. So the idea is to produce a bunch of these, create a specialized division, and stick them on there. I'm just gonna need the production to happen first. So once we have the next military factories going, this will happen. So for now, let's relocate the tank divisions south, and remove that and that. There. So that'll relocate tank division south, and Air Force wise, we've got everything deployed here. Can we create a couple new air wings? Do we have? Yeah, we've got a bunch of Stormovics. So let's get 3 new close air support wings up and running. Okay, what did I forget? I'm sure there was something that somebody wanted me to do that I forgot. We are improving the lines in the supply lines in the east, although it's been pointed out in the comments that we are that we have a very vulnerable single railway line here, which is on the list of being improved. There's a long list of things here. But the other thing that I forgot, we do need to begin production of how's our stockpile on infantry equipment, because if we're starting to capture territory back, then we have to deal with garrisoning, which as long as it's not core. So what do we have? We've got a bunch of things laying around, a bunch of captured equipment as well, but not an awful lot. So it's maybe not a terrible idea to just produce to just add a production line, not here. There, for plain old infantry equipment, that would be where is it? These things, yeah, like basic rifles, and we'll just add like 2 factories on that, and that'll just be there to make cheap rifles for garrisons. Which means we actually need to check what we are using for garrisons. We're using the NKVD divisions and liberated workers in general. So that's... we are apparently occupying territory of Red Finland, are we? This bit here. Yes, no, that's ours. We're not giving that back. Yeah, everyone's relatively peaceful right now, but we are starting to see resistance here in occupied territories. So if we are should be something, but maybe we're not yet getting the effects of it. Anyway, all right. So cool. I think I've got everything out of the way. So let's move the tanks south. See if the Germans are doing anything around attacking here, and get ready for another offensive. Yeah, they are really reinforcing the Mogilev salient here in the swamp, and they're trying to break out from Minsk, but yeah, then they're not going to get, they're not going to have any fun on that area. How are our operatives doing, by the way? He's been liberated. Good. So keep building intel networks, maybe here, so we can link up, and you can build intelligence network here, there. So let's cover the area here that we're about to attack in with operatives and make sure that things work out. Otherwise, everyone's dug in for the winter. The tanks are rolling in. How is that looking supply-wise? That is looking okay-ish supply-wise. So once the tank divisions have regained their organization, and then we will launch the assault here across the plains. The Germans are moving, have obviously seen that, and are moving divisions south. So actually, we can't wait too long anymore. So I think it'll be good to start launching armored assaults here before the Germans are moving too many divisions out. Let's push them. Let's push them up. Let's push them up towards the swamp line, and push the Germans back into the swamp. Take the Sitomir supply hub, and then up there, and we get a full-on armored offensive going along the lines. Secure the railways. These tank divisions can push here, and these 3 tank divisions are going to take the airport as well, and then we'll work down from there. So that means we will need to bring the air support down to Ukraine. That's something I just forgot. Let's bring close air support into Ukraine. Fighter, do we have? No, we're not actually facing any resistance from the Luftwaffe, so that's okay. Fighters can stay. We've got these guys are training. 2 more close air support wings, Kiev, and we'll leave the rest. Do we have any close air support left? Actually, okay. Let's leave these 2 wings operating in Belarus, and. We've got the scout planes up here, so maybe we can do that here as well. Do we have enough scout planes for? Do we have enough scout planes? Yes, we do. Actually, for 2 wings. So let's create 2 scout wings. Actually, let's create one here, and that one is going to do air recon on the Ukrainian territory where we are pushing into eastern Poland. And we create the other one north here in Belarus. Scouts, and they can do air recon on the Baltic air region. So that's a good one. Okay, onto the ground and into the offensive we go. So let's see how that's going to look. And yeah, we are going to support these assaults with infantry, because I think the Germans don't have enough divisions here to support these attacks here. I don't think the Germans have enough divisions to push us out, even if we're not entrenched. These are relatively well defended areas. So general offensive going, and yeah, on the fields the tanks are absolutely massacring things. What are we lacking? Oh, we're producing things we don't need. Okay, interesting. Oh yeah, because it's the flame tanks. So I think this looks like it's generally a winter offensive going. We might need more fuel at some point. When the tanks are all on the attack, things don't go too well. So let's see if we can push through. And I doubt that we can cut through the swamps here. But maybe we can manage an all-around operational encirclement with once we have the Sitomir supply hub captured, and we can get that to go forward. So for now, we will also have to. Oh yeah, actually that's something I forgot. Let's pause it. We do have to clear out the. Who do we have here? So Second Army. We do have to clear out the defensive lines now. And so we've got the these are 10th Army troops. So the 10th Army is going to join the front line up to Kiev. Actually, yeah, come on, give me a front line. Front line, there we go. Front line up to Kiev, and I would like the whole of the. Where is it? This would be Army Group South. Where's the 10th actually? Am I missing something? Where did it go? I'm probably just missing it. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 10th army. There it is. Right. So I would like all the 10th army to be on that front line. That means they will they will assist. They will follow. And we've got the 3rd army here, who is currently. You know what? 3rd army as well. We'll leave the 3rd for now. We'll split this up once we have everything sorted. But right now it's a combined arms attack. And oh, we're crossing rivers here again. Didn't notice that there was a river. But von Manstein's divisions might be dug in the winter, but they and supplied, but they are struggling. Yeah, they're not getting through our armor. They have no way of actually getting through our armored divisions. So the tanks are pushing forward, and the 10th. Is it the 10th? I think yeah, the 10th is going to follow for now. And we will see how that goes from there. So right now we'll take the airport off them. We're pushing north through the plains. Anything happening in the north? Nope. Do we? Yes, we do have railway gun support here. We might have to pull that a little forward once we've conquered some territory there. But yeah, this a general offensive seems to be relatively successful, and yeah, the Germans don't really stand an awful lot of a chance against the advancing Soviet armored divisions in that full-on frontline battle. Let's speed that up a little bit. So tank divisions are pushing ahead, although we appear to be. Okay, I need to check where we are going. Yes, we do need to take... where are these guys going? Yes, we do need to take Zitomir. And we are going to have to organize the armies now. So given that we are in the general offensive, let's take the 10th. Actually, yeah, let's take the 10th. 10th is going to take... that is the 10th front line. 10th is going to take the north. Here. So up to there. And the... which one was the other one I had here? I had another one here. Yes, 3rd army. So 3rd army is going to take the southern front. And I would have liked to have all of 3rd army assigned to that. This is 3rd army, yeah. So okay, so we've got 10th and 3rd, and we will get infantry support. Oh, be quiet. We will get infantry support on the lines here to help with these pushes. And to assist the tanks in general. Just making sure. The important one, okay, we have taken Zitomir, we have taken the supply hub in Zitomir. What do we need to do to connect that? Oh, that is actually not connected. That is very unfortunate. This is the supply lines are actually not connected here. Okay, we were gonna need to do emergency railway connections. Actually, never mind. No, we have supply lines here. No, it's all good. From Vinnytsia. We have Vinnytsia to Zitomir. It just it will just take a moment to get through. So hopefully we're going to be good supply-wise, which means we can continue the assault just towards the swamp. And I doubt that we're going to get through here, but we'll push them up to the swamp for now. And tanks in the swamp are pretty useless, so we might change the direction of the assault into the other side. Where's their supply hub here? There aren't any. There's one. So that would actually be a necessary front to conquer here. But we are obviously going to have to wait for the supply to catch up. So we might just throw some infantry into the general push here and see if we can break out a little bit more. But we do have to wait now for supply to catch up. The tanks are going to run out of fuel. We do have opportunities to capture more territory in the north. That is swampy territory, so yeah, I'm not actually that interested. Swamps are no good for anybody. We've reached the operational objectives. Now we need to wait for the supply to catch up, and for the infantry, for most of the infantry to catch up as well. I think my infantry lines need redoing because I think they got separated. But yeah, now our supply hubs are significantly overloaded until things are reconnected here. So, however, this seems to have cut off a lot of divisions here supply-wise as well. So I wonder if we have a chance with the infantry to break through southwards here. And we do have the second motorized, which appears not to have heard a call. So maybe we'll bring the second motorized in from the north and see if we can make this, if we can actually make this happen using the momentum that we're having. So second motorized, go. I would like you to try and go there, and then try to break through here. And at the same time, we'll keep the assault going. We'll keep the assault going from the south and see if we can manage to link up with the second motorized, because that would be a major breakthrough while the infantry is catching up with everybody, which means I do need to redo the infantry lines. So 24 divisions, 10th Army, and 24 divisions here. Alright, let's redo these. Just making sure that everybody's going where they're supposed to go. So 10th Army is going to take the northern flank. And I think what's it, second army? Third army. Third army is going to take the southern flank here. And generally support the assault operations. So how far do we need to push in the south? There is no supply line. There are no supply lines here, so we're not particularly stretched. But we can potentially cut off a couple of divisions here, and that's always a good thing. And maintain the push in the north and try to connect here. So see if we can push the Germans back into the swamp lines and wait for the infantry lines to catch up. But this has been a very successful offensive so far, and we've definitely made progress. There might be an operational chance to break through the defenses and cut off Army Group South here. Army Group Center, and we will see. Yep, that works. German tanks are moving through, so we'll just widen the assault here and try to push along towards Minsk with everything that we've got. And meanwhile, these guys can try to attack here. I'm gonna need some more infantry to assist with that assault, but we can also get these two guards divisions to try and encircle some German divisions here in the south. And yeah, tanks are moving. We're now in what I would call an operational offensive. Let's get everybody to join in. This is going to be difficult to break because again, this is swampy territory, and the tanks are doing terribly in the swamp. But there's no good area where we can break through. We can try to launch some armored assault in this direction together with some infantry and see if we can make... we have to leave someone behind. See if we can make some progress there while we're also simultaneously pushing from the south and trying to connect here with the support the attacks from the infantry. And while we're trying to connect here with the southern thrust, and I think at this point, yeah, let's take the airport here. Let's take the airport here, and then we will probably stop the offensive at this point. I think we've gone far enough in the south. I don't want to overstretch, and I would like to concentrate my tank forces in the north if possible. So we will wait until they're done with the offensive here, and actually the first motorized needs a significantly shorter front line now, because they will focus their assault on the northern flank, and we will consolidate the gains, get the infantry in place. How's the supply looking? Yes, we are obviously massively overloaded supply-wise, but we're working on it. So let's see if we can make breakthroughs here and cut off German divisions in Army Group Center. Finally, we might also just be able to go through open terrain and see if we can get around here. That might be possible, but we will have to see. Anyway, I would say the general winter offensive has been successful so far. We're not making any gains around Minsk because that's where the strongest German defenses are, but they are vacating vacating Mogilev, where we can literally just march in. And the thrust through the soft underbelly in the south here and significant operational gains have put the Germans on the back footing, and we are trying to link up the northern group and the southern group, encircle Army Group Center, and deal a death blow to the German war effort. Because once these guys are gone, I don't think the Germans have an awful lot left to work with here. We haven't really looked at how the war is going in Spain. It seems to be a relative stalemate here, although there is a naval invasion in southern Vichy, so the Allies are definitely busy. Appear to have the UK have taken both Sardinia and Corsica from Italy, so there's definitely an effort here from the Allies to go south, and I think the Germans are on the ropes, as is Japan slowly, because China seems to be making significant inroads here. The Germans have not managed to take communist China, and we will probably assist with Japan relatively soon as well. Once we have broken through the German lines and destroyed them here and made our way out. Anyway, that's it for me today. Thanks everybody, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.